Hello my beautiful badgers, Messi Coder back again with another Unreal Marketplace review. It's still the 70% sale over on the Unreal Marketplace, and this Western Town from Leartes Studios is on 70% discount, down from $110 to $33. That is $109.99 to $32.99 if you want to be pedantic and want your cent change. Now you get 68 unique meshes in this pack, and that's 231 textures, 146 materials. So you get a lot of variations that you can throw on these buildings to make them look different, and that's really important because you're only getting 10 buildings in this pack, 11 if you include the toilets. So you need all of these different materials and textures to make the buildings look different, and it really works. You also get a handful of these different props that you can throw in to make your scenes come alive. But bear in mind, it's not the biggest pack in the world, but it really is beautiful, and it's made by Alexey Kirsanov from Leartes Studios. Let's pop inside Unreal and see what it's like. Here I am inside the Western Town from Leartes, and I have to tell you, I'm using Unreal 4.27, not Unreal 5, because I still haven't played about it yet, but it does look stunning in Unreal. I tell you this, feels a bit cheating, doesn't it? Because Unreal looks so beautiful. I've also thrown in the Western characters from David Cret that I played about last week, and the advanced locomotion system, which I got for free from Unreal a while back, that you'll do these monthly giveaways that you get. So that was a bargain. And as you can see, we can run around. We could even go, wee, somersault. So what do I think of this Western Town? Well, normally $110, but it's on a 70% sale. Does he have good wood? Amazing wood. Best thing about this pack is the wood. Such good wood. And it's not just one or two different textures. There's so many different textures and materials that it makes it easy to mix and match. I'm going to tell you, limited number of meshes that you get for buildings, and with the variations of textures and materials, they look so different. It really, I mean, this, if you can imagine, everything that you see now, me running around, is just 10 buildings. That's right, there are just 10 buildings in this pack, but you can mix them around and it makes it look like there are a lot more. And that's really the biggest problem with this pack, is that it's 68 meshes, of which 7 of those are grass. One of them is a sphere. There's only 10 buildings and 1 outhouse, so 11 in total if you're going to call the outhouse a building. It's not modular. It's not modular, so I can't just mix and match the actual structure of these buildings. Also, we've got no interiors, so these buildings look stunning, but I can't go inside them, which is a massive shame. I could reuse these textures to make my interiors, and that's what I'm going to end up doing. But if you have got a scene, or you have got a Western Town in your game, you want to fill it up with some optimized buildings, and you want to have a handful which you can go inside, unless you want to be able to break into every different building in your town, which, you know, so depends on the type of game you're making. You've also got the water towers here. Love the water towers. And there's a stunning stable. I really do love the stable, which makes me, again, really sad that we can't go inside the stable, because the stable is stunning. Look at that wood. Look at that wood and tell me you don't love it. It really does look beautiful. Even the hay looks good, I have to tell you. We've also got something that many other Western packs seem to forget, and that are telegraph poles. Yeah, it's not electricity. This isn't the telephone. These are telegraph poles, and they are always missed, I find, in asset packs. So it's great to have the telegraph poles in this pack so they can get a message from one town to another. We've also got the hangman's noose, and these are the type of the trapdoor. To be honest, I don't know how you do stuff with Unreal to make the traps, if they can open or close. I'm still a noob. I am very much a noob with Unreal, I'm going to tell you that. If I go over here, we're going to pop into the other demo scene so I can just show you all of the other building types, basically, so you're not distracted by looking at them all laid out here. We'll just see what have we got in the pack? The 68 different meshes that you get laying out. And look at, when I'm just talking about these Western characters from David Gray, look how well they go together in this scene, with these buildings. Beautifully done. I have to tell you, get that pack on the sale, get this pack on the sale, you've got your makings of a fantastic Western game, which really also makes me sad and annoyed that none of these were available when I was trying to make a Western game many years ago and was having to source everything by hand and build everything. So, oh my word, you are all spoilt. Now the one grumble I've got, look here, is the material, how that shader's done for that roof, the tessellation I'm relieving it could be, but it just, that, I mean, it doesn't look good. I don't like the tiles there. That look of that tiles. You don't get that problem when you're looking at right at the top of the roofs because you're not going to be up there and seeing it, but you kind of notice it there. I notice it, you probably won't notice it in your game, and other people probably wouldn't even notice it either, but I just drew attention to that myself. I would love to convert these over, put this into Unreal. Now, Leartes are selling things on Unity. They are selling a load of Unity stuff. I'm hoping this will find its way over onto Unity natively, and if it does, HDRP no doubt will make these textures shine like a diamond or like a piece of wood. Let's pop inside the other demo scene. And this is what I was talking about. You know, we've got one sphere, 7 grasses, so that's down to 60 items, 60 meshes. Of those, we've got 7 different stones. Although they've called it power transmission, it's the power for the telegraph pole or whatever you want to call it. We've got this pipe. Let's go and click play. I can't see the pipes down there, to be honest. I'm going to drag in this pipe. Can I see it somewhere else? Because that's going to go on top of the roofs, isn't it? For the smoke coming out of the chimneys. And it's great that you can add those to whichever you want. And where's the telegraph pole? Oh, there they are. I was going to say. And you can see here that it's got the nodes shenanigans for you to be laying out where you want your wires to go. Let's click play. You've got the hangman's noose. You've got some barrels. You've got a coffin, obviously, because it's the West. Not a massive fan of the texture here on these millet bags there. The canvas bags. We've got the water trough. Potatoes, and we've got different apples and veg, oranges and lemons, and there's boxes of potatoes and seeds and grain and stuff. You've got some booze, and you've got boxes, and you've got this little wheelbarrow there, and you've got a cart. The texture on here wasn't a huge fan of, but again, you've got to save where you can because no one's really going to notice that, are they? Unless they're inside it, and in which case yeah, you might be like, oh, a little bit lower than I thought it would be, but to be fair, passable. This is where you can see the different types of layouts for the buildings. So you've got buildings with upstairs balconies, and you've got buildings, this saloon is the only one with a stair that goes up to the upstairs balcony. It doesn't have to be a saloon, could be lodgings, you know what I mean, upstairs and downstairs. And over here, the law office doesn't have to be a law office. It can be anything you want it to be, much like the doctor's doesn't have to be a doctor's. But we can call these the different layouts. So we've got a downstairs with this kind of roof over and door on the right. Door in the middle, so it's not as wide as that one. Balcony, door on the right, I'm going to call that one. And balcony stairs. Residential, more of a residential building, this one, isn't it? Door on the right, one small window, but it's quite wide, and this one is the only one with a very different layout. This is the outhouse, so you can poop and do your wee-wees without getting in trouble. And over here, doesn't have to be a bank, we can, because it's a tall one, as you can see, this false front there, and doors on the left. This one, doors on the right, but it's not so tall. The other interesting thing that they seem to be missing with this pack is that actually there were many buildings which weren't 2-story, they were single story, but the false front would give that impression that they were taller than they really were. That's the, you know, these are false fronts, that's what they were. So that's a shame we don't have any single story buildings with big false fronts. We've got, I think this is the only single story building, but as you can see, it doesn't have a big false front on it. Because these aren't modular, I can't go and make my own. That's a shame. So I would love this pack to be modular. I would love this pack to have interiors. I would also love this pack just to, this got this little issue with the wood here. So on all of the doors, these models for the doors. And again, we could say, oh look, that's the wood that's been chipped away there. But every single door, after a while, you're like, so that's a bit of an issue, needs to be fixed up. And the roof tile here, this material, I don't know how the shaders work in Unreal, but I'm not a massive fan of that one. That's it. Those are my only gripes with this otherwise incredibly beautiful western town from Leartes Studios. I think we've been spoilt with the other Leartes Studios packs that are so big and full of so much stuff that when we look back and go, actually, of 68 meshes in this, we've got 10 buildings and a handful of props here that we can use. So you kind of feel it could be doing with a few more props, a few more different building types. I'm hoping that there's going to be more updates with this pack. If they are, wow, you know, you're getting it at 70% off. It's a massive bargain. $30 for this pack. You cannot complain. $110 for this pack. Well, you know what? The wood and these buildings are so good. If you are making a Western game, then I would suggest that you pick this up. If you're not making a Western game, don't buy it. Go and buy an ice cream instead. If you do like these videos, you want to see something else, then click on that big red subscribe button and put a comment and say, Messi, we would like you to review something else. And then I'll do it. So if you do like it, click it. Till next time. If you want to see more of my crazy videos, click on the left side of your screen now. And down below, there's that big juicy subscribe button. And right next to it is the magic bell that if you click it, it will tell you if I've got a new video coming out. Till next time.